everyone, that's right, we got another Seth video. It's been a while since we've done one of these, so, you know, why not? Seth has always got a strange sense of humor that, well, gets a chuckle out of me every once in a while. But he always goes on strange tangents that I don't even know where he's going most of the time. He goes left, he goes right, he goes places I will never even think of. But either way, we're going to head into this, because later, I'm going to try and play some Pathfinder First Edition with some old friends. Which, I hope that'll be fun. It's a pirate adventure. We'll see where that goes. But unfortunately, I can't stream that because the stream would be rated R.
Oh, shit.
If Chrono didn't get the joke. It takes... He didn't get the joke, unfortunately, everyone. Now he's off to go take a shit. He's off to go kiss those fish.
Pirate themed and it's rated R. Yes, I get it. You son of a bitch.
Sorry, we had to give him a few minutes to figure it out there.
It didn't even take me a few minutes.
That's why he's always buffering. Anyway. We're going into this.
Hey people, Seth here. What's the most painful human experience? Many would say childbirth, but that only produces 48% of the pain of being an immersive sim fan. This is a cursed genre. Anyone who
immersive sim
dies.
fan?
Looking Glass, dead.
Oh
Fortnite,
yeah,
dead.
a lot of these
Wildstorm,
game studios are
and
dead.
Arcane is currently decomposing in a corporate merger. But
Yeah, Arcane got got bought by Microsoft, and so did Bethesda and all them, and they're basically destroyed. Dear God, I used to love their Dishonored games. Dishonored's such a good game series. Oh, I really should go back and play those again for like a third time. I've streamed them already before, guys, but they're really good. Like, it's kind of the reason why everyone is saying newer games aren't great, because a lot of the older ones are just, they're so fun and inventive and thoughtful, and newer games are always trying to get me to buy all this crap that I don't want. Slot bot, I just realized that.
before that, they put out a masterpiece. I know, this was news to me too, so why have I never heard of it?
Prey.
Because of a name, that is Prey 2017, not to be confused with Prey 2006 or Prey 2014.
Oh yeah, they were, originally there was gonna be a Prey 2, but Bethesda canned it and was just using the name Prey here, which honestly people think this should have been named, what is it, Neuroshock. Because how it's similar to System Shock and Bioshock.
I still need to play this game though.
It's very good, I fully recommend it.
I have it somewhere.
I fully recommend this game to anyone.
Actually, I do have it.
I will suggest though, if you're gonna play the game, don't play it like you're an upfront fighter where you're gonna rush in and kill everyone. Play it more stealthy and be a bit smarter, because you can die violently very easily.
Yes. You wanna know what? I bought this game because Markiplier played it.
Honestly, I will admit this, the main character kind of looks like Markiplier.
He does.
But,
And his first name starts with an M, apparently.
yeah, I think he's Morgan.
Yeah, it's like Morgan or something like that.
Mordecai.
They had to set up for a sequel, but I don't think they're ever gonna get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going
To the sequel.
I bought Prey for the PS4 because Markiplier played it. And I tried playing it a long time ago, and I haven't been back to play it since. I played it for like a few minutes and stopped. But I also got this collectible tin that
nice.
I found it at, I don't know if I found it at somewhere or I bought it with the game when I bought the game, but yeah. I have this like collectible tin. It doesn't even feel like a tin, it's more like it's one of those decorative boxes for a game.
Oh.
And it's like two-sided. One side's got the female character and one side's got the male character. It just says Prey at bottom.
Weird. Well.
In the TV show, or Prey 2022, the movie.
Oh yeah,
The
they
optimal
made
title
Prey
is right
because
in
it was
front of
based
us.
off
It's
Predator.
a successor to System Shock that's about the mind.
Yeah.
Psycho Shock. But was renamed by Bethesda Softworks, a ZeniMax corporation, because they had the IP sitting there for 10 years and didn't know what else to do with it.
Pretty
This
much.
game has
Funny
no
enough,
discover-
Prey 2 was a fully complete game, but Bethesda just wouldn't let the dev team release it because they wanted to buy them out.
Makes sense.
discoverability or brand identity, at least with some series. If you told me I was going to be playing a stealth game where the objective is to blend in with a crowd as the only black man in Japan, I would tell you, based on the stock price, I kind of expected that. Similarly, if you told me a Jewish man was about to shill VPNs for his personal gain, I also expected that. Would you let a stranger watch your
he's
children?
doing that.
Would you share intimate details of your life with a trash collector? Should you give your local tweaker your social security number? This is more than a hypothetical. It's how I've lived my life for the past 20 years.
the
But
hell?
now, my children are missing, my bank account is frozen, and my identity has been stolen. I've tried calling, but they insist they're not missing. They have a new dad,
What?
and he's more me than I'll ever
Oh
be.
my God.
I've since
the
learned from my
hell,
mistakes,
Seth?
and I keep my new, better children safe with ExpressVPN. Every time you connect to an unencrypted network,
What
be
is
it
this
in
game?
a cafe, the
I just-
airport, or
I just
even
like
your
the little
hotel room,
avatar
your
that he
online data
tends
is
to
not
use.
secure.
Oh,
Anyone
God,
will
oh, wait,
know
that's
how to
Stalker
see
2, I
everything you're
think.
doing and steal your personal data. Order a pizza to your room. There goes your credit card number. Tell your boss your flight got delayed. There goes your email. Need to take an important Zoom call while you're out and about. There goes your voice and likeness. Now, someone is
What the
using
hell?
their new deepfake to convince grandma to send $5,000 for bail money right now. And if they don't
my
use it,
God.
they can just sell it
Damn.
to somebody who will. But with ExpressVPN running in the background, you're protected, thanks to the fact that all of your internet traffic is routed through a secure encrypted tunnel. So secure, in fact, the sun will go out before any supercomputer can crack it. And all it takes is one click. ExpressVPN works on all your devices, so you can stay secure no matter what you're
I
doing.
do have
Personally,
something
I get
for
the
you,
most
Matt.
use out
I
of it by
want to call BS, but
Yeah, you
If
have
you
some...
ever want to watch somebody kind of like unhinged playing games and stuff, you should watch Let's Game It Out.
For a minute, I thought you were going to suggest your own channel.
No, well, I mean, you could do that too, but I mean,
I don't think I'm unhinged enough.
but Let's Game It Out is so funny, especially with their simulator games that they play.
posting
If you like
anonymously or
Unhinged,
pretending to be
don't
from another
come to me
country.
and
French
propose
Canadians deserve
the
their
bit of
reputation.
Oh.
I'd like
Tasmania.
to think, in some small way, I contributed, and
Oh.
this would not be possible
All of
without
them died.
ExpressVPN. Find out how you can get 4 months free by scanning the QR
The
code on screen, clicking
car.
the link in the
Oh,
description box
exploded.
below, or by going to expressvpn.com/Seth. It's hard to recommend something without explanation. This
Push
game
the fat
is
man.
hard to explain without spoilers.
Push the
and there
fat
will
man.
be spoilers in about now. Who am I? Who are they? What did they do to me?
What's happening?
They took your foreskin.
What the hell?
Now take it back.
Did
What
I
is
hear
Prey?
that
I
right?
don't know. What do you
Yes,
do
you
in
did.
Prey? I turned myself into a roll
I
of
like how
toilet
they
paper
said,
and
"They
hid
took
inside
your
the women's
foreskin."
bathroom because I finished
Now
the
you
side
take
quest.
it back.
Oh my god. Seth.
They took your foreskin. Now take it
I think he's saying...
What
Oh my
is
God.
Prey? I don't know. What do you do in Prey? I turned
Well.
myself into a roll of toilet
I
paper
had to listen
and
to
hide
Jehovah's
inside the women's
Witness
bathroom
and read,
because I finished the side
conclusions
quest
from the
that puts
Bible.
psychoactive DMT into the
But half
drinking
my
water.
What?
I can reliably
I can barely understand you, and I'm rolling back the video a second.
I don't know. What do you do in Prey? I turn myself into a
Ooh,
roll of toilet
I
paper
don't know.
and hide inside the women's bathroom. Because I finished a side quest that puts psychoactive DMT into the drinking water,
What?
I can reliably do this for the next few hours. In all seriousness, it's
the
a game
hell?
of Gmod prop hunt where you get jump scared by filing cabinets. The
Pretty
difference
much.
is it's a AAA title that doesn't assume the player to be retarded. Here's how they introduce their first weapon. What does it do? Well, I don't know, but it probably freezes enemies and sticks to walls. Oh look,
Yeah,
of
it
course
also
I
lets
can
you
loot.
climb.
Good thing there's a conveniently ramp-shaped trail of glue
Yeah,
I can climb
you can
up.
use the
Maybe
glue
I can
gun
use
to
this weapon to
climb.
climb on other things in the future. Oh, the path upstairs is locked. Good thing I have this glue cannon. Was I stopped in my tracks to explain how this works? No.
No.
Was there an NPC in my ear going,
Morgan, squirt your glue to climb upstairs.
no. Did I have to demonstrate my understanding of a weapon and its applications in order to proceed? No. The entire game is like this. It
This
presents
really shows how Arcane was one of the best at making these style of stuff. Dear God. I hate that they're gone now.
Presents a number of obstacles, gives you tools to conquer them, then stands back and lets you figure it out yourself. Ultimately, this isn't complicated, but I have to give praise, because video games are a lowbrow field designed for knuckle
remember
draggers.
doing this, too.
After a solar flare
And
knocks us
screwing
back to
around with the glue
Bronze
gun a
Age,
lot.
they will return to their rightful place, plowing the crops. And I will be a low-ranking overseer, until I succumb to typhoid, only to be replaced by a taskmaster twice as cruel. I have no illusions that the peasants will forget me, but in their mind, they will hold the vague idea that things used to be better. But I digress. You are trapped on a space station
What
full
the
of
hell?
Redditors who say, "Oh my science," when they see Darwin claws evolving down the chimney.
What the
have
hell is
a
going
shotgun,
on?
And
Yeah, I don't
aliens
know.
are eating everyone on board. The glue gun
Yeah.
being the first weapon is a message. This isn't a game about blasting everything in sight.
Yeah, I learned that the
actually
hard
it is,
way.
But first I hot glue them like a Toho figurine before bashing them with a blunt object. It's a game about using your brain and everyone else's
You have to be
brains too,
smart
by
when fighting
injecting them.
anything, because these things teleport. They can set on things with fire with their mind. You have to be smart about every encounter with this. That's something I had to learn the hard way, but yeah.
Directly for your eye socket. This is what the station is designed to produce, outside the jurisdiction of any pesky laws. The Neuromod, the brain, is the ultimate pattern recognition device. If it sees a pattern, it forms a new pattern of neurons. Thus, it is a physical reflection of your memories, experiences, and skills, represented by trillions of connections between billions of neurons. With Neuromods, we can copy the physical brain structures responsible for individual skills and paste them directly into the brains of others. I can...
Do you know what that means, Chrono?
Not exactly.
It's basically copying the skills of others and literally implanting them in yourself.
Ah.
Yeah. That's basically what it does. It's basically copying other people's abilities, skills, attributes, and then placing them on yourself in your brain.
Map out Epstein's brain, inject it, and be very confused as I recognize every Mossad agent on a first-name basis.
What the
Turns
hell?
out, you can also give people abilities that aren't on the human skill tree, like telekinesis, or fireballs, or the ability to morph your body to mimic any small object. How is this possible? In short, Kennedy survived his assassination, and now, because of a misplaced bullet, we're farming aliens from a Soviet satellite. Aliens with magic powers that eat and digest consciousness itself. What could possibly go wrong? Neuromods are this game's upgrade system. You find, craft, and
Required for
spend
this
them
game.
to unlock new abilities of human
You have
or
to
exotic
think.
origin. The game discourages you from taking too many alien abilities by warning you that past a certain threshold, the station's defenses will identify you.
Yeah,
as a
they'll start
foreign body
attacking you,
and
which
shoot
is
off
why I
sight.
didn't.
This
Which
would
is
be a
why I only
reasonable
took a
drawback.
few when I did a playthrough of this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, surprise attacks are your best friend. Thinking things through are your best friend, and yeah.
If a station had any defenses left, you're making me choose between pyrokinesis and a turret that struggles with the smallest enemy. Neuromods offer a variety of new solutions.
They can be
to
useful if
different
you get them in high
problems. For
numbers.
example, there are a few ways around this, but the most obvious is to use a grounding resistor. With enough repair skill, you could fix the one right there. Or you could go through the enemies downstairs to get to the storage closet, which can be hacked to find a replacement. I, however, did none of these things. I stood in a box, turned into a binder, and slid through a gap in the window. This is a valid solution to most of life's problems. I'm about to be mugged. I turn into an empty bottle and roll down a storm drain. My wife is about to be mugged. I turn into an empty bottle and roll down a storm drain. My wife is asking for a divorce. I turn into a set of stairs and push her down. With these abilities, gameplay becomes a question of using what you have to tackle the problems in front of you. If you need to
Your
reach
Honor,
something high up,
yeah, I
you
don't think
can use a
my
jump
parents have
upgrade,
been
make a
trained
gravity
for
well,
a lot
or
of
mimic an
stuff.
operator and fly there directly. And if
Oh,
nothing else
you could
works,
turn
you
to
can
an
always
operator?
rely
I
on the
didn't
glue
know
gun
that.
to build yourself a staircase. However,
True.
enemies respawn. Ammo does not. So you need to make careful use of resources.
You
Thankfully,
can
we have
make
another
ammo.
great mechanic to help us with that. Recycling.
Yeah, exactly. You'll do a lot of recycling in this game.
Any item can be dropped into the recycler and broken down into its constituent matter. This can be fed into a fabricator to 3D print any schematic you possess. This solves a major issue of survival games. When you have limited resources and tough enemies, you're encouraged to make every bullet count. But with a variety of ammunition, you feel the need to carry every single weapon and overload yourself in the process.
True.
Recycling fixes this by converting items you don't use into items you do. Normally, games achieve this by letting you sell equipment, but then designers completely lose control of a player. How do you stop someone from shooting everything and encourage them to experiment if they've already sold all the fun toys for more shotgun ammunition?
True.
Well, there's 4 types of material, so items are limited by their total availability. You can't just print one thing. You have to make a conscious choice between different munitions. Okay, now that we've covered recycling, you have enough context to understand my favorite
the
item in the
recycling
entire game.
bombs.
Instead of a regular grenade, Prey has the recycler charge, which creates
Yeah.
a spatial vortex that sucks everything in and recycles it. This includes...
I have died to these things because there's traps with them set. It's horrifying.
Oh, damn.
Every single physics object you see.
Yeah,
This is the beginning of my descent, because the moment I get hold of a recycler charge schematic, I stack everything I find on a single floor. I take materials expert to get 20% more
understandable.
recycling
You
ute
can
and
recycle
implode
everything if
so
you use that
hard
thing.
that I print 6 more of them. From here, I go insane and farm every single fab material and craft infinite Neuromods until the schematic DRM kicks in, because the game needs a side quest to pause my power fantasy before I resume and craft every single Neuromod and unlock every ability in the game and break everything forever. I love a good sandbox. Put me inside one, and I'll have those kids paying protection money before recess. I can play this game all day, but its biggest weakness is the enemies.
God damn it, Seth. He loves breaking games, and I am all here for it. I love seeing how crazy people get when they break games.
Oh, man.
Like,
You're
usually...
definitely going to love Let's Game It Out then.
Oh, dear
because he
God.
breaks them. He breaks them.
I used to watch this one guy who always found a way to break an RPG. I don't know how, but he always did. Like a JRPG.
Yeah. Oh, man.
All you get
If you ever
is
wanted to
Black
see
Blob
a
and Robot. I
simulator
guess the
actually
budget had to go some...
break, yeah, Let's Game It Out is your guy. He is like
I
the best at that.
understand the narrative importance of a 3-hour cutscene where Alex Yu jerks off and moans in the shower, but halfway into it, when the steam fogs everything up and it's just his ass print against the glass,
What the
I
hell?
really caught myself thinking, could we have an extra alien, please? At least the predominant blood we do get is so interesting.
Let me see.
I guess the budget the game and break everything forever.
Yeah.
I love a good sandbox. Put me inside one, and I'll have those kids paying protection money before recess. I
Yeah,
can
let's
glaze
go.
this game all day, but its biggest weakness is the enemies. All you get is Black Blob and Robot. I guess the budget had to
Well,
go somewhere. Look, I understand
there's a bunch
the
of different
narrative
Black
importance
Blobs.
of the 3-hour cutscene where Alex Yu jerks off and moans in the shower, but halfway into it, when the steam fogs everything up and it's just his ass print against the glass, I really caught myself thinking, could we have an extra alien, please? At least the predominant blob we do get is so interesting. It almost
Yeah,
makes
the
up for it.
mimic.
Our perceptions are geared towards ignoring background objects.
that loves to do
Mimics
that.
abuse this by turning every physics object into a potential
It scares the
ambush.
crap
If you
out of
get too
me.
close or try to pick it up, it'll kill you. They're not as deadly as the rest, but they do give you a healthy dose of paranoia. Oh,
Yeah.
why would there be 2 trash cans? Never mind, I think I'm actually retarded. They're fun to fight. They make every environment an interactive clown show
Damn.
where I preemptively attack every piece of furniture. From the security footage, I'm just a man fighting my demons, and no one can tell who's winning. That is, until you get the psychoscope and upgrade it to scan mimics, removing your suspicion and replacing it with a compulsion to press Z every few seconds. This might sound annoying, but the trade-off is incredibly cathartic. Each time I execute a mimic, I get a muscle memory. It's like I've done this before, and I think I was good at it. The sad thing about mimics is that they're only capable of imitation, so there's no way of knowing if they're really a blob or if they're just conforming to expectations placed on them. Phantoms are humanoid shapes that repeat random phrases from their former host. Thankfully, this game was made before the conception of brain rot. Imagine.
Yeah, these guys just repeat words from what they used to be, because these are, from what I can tell, humans that used to make neuromods with the creatures. Yeah, not great.
The sad thing about mimics is that they're only capable of imitation, so there's no way of knowing if they're really a blob or if they're just conforming to expectations placed on them. Phantoms are humanoid shapes that repeat random phrases from their former host. Thankfully, this game was made before the conception of brain rot. Imagine the primordial fear of hearing the words "Livy Dunn, rizzed up baby Gronk" before being torn apart by your fellow crewmate. Normal phantoms are very normal, in a sense that normally they'll kinetic blast your health bar within seconds. They also exhibit an anxious, preoccupied attachment style, because the moment they spot you, they tweak out and reappear in front of you. Etheric phantoms blip around at high speed so they can no-clip and smack you in the face. If you try to fight back, they split off into 2 copies and blip around faster each time you hit them. Luckily, the Q-beam doesn't cause damage. It only excites particles until they explode, at which point you should clear the area, because even in death, this thing will still try to kill you. Thermal phantoms walk up and cook you instantly. Forget immersion. They exist to gaslight you into thinking there's a strategy for their element. There isn't. Despite being a fire extinguisher, the glue gun is actually worse against thermals.
Yeah,
Volcanics
that's one
are
thing
the
that
worst,
surprised
because
me.
they do everything listed above and fry all of your electronics. The only answer to the phantom question is analog firepower. Mimics reproduce to become weavers, float around, turn crewmates into phantoms, and spit out cystoids when threatened. Not that you'd notice, since
they're
if you pop their
explosives.
shield, congratulations, you're having a seizure. Lore-wise, they're very important. In gameplay, they're just annoying. And in my case, they still terrify me. Once, I went outside the station to explore in zero gravity, drifted towards a shuttle, and Alt-F4'd the game because my screen glitched and my character started screaming in the vacuum of space. This isn't a horror game, but getting jump scared without sound at 2 a.m. in the morning can make a grown man crinkle in his diapers. Telepaths mind break everyone around them into walking landmines.
Yeah, they can...
Knocking them out will break the telepath's influence and save a human life. But remember, every survivor is a lawsuit waiting to happen. They need to kill or incapacitate their victims before attacking them. But even on their own, they can spam homing projectiles and block your
They're
abilities.
horrifying.
However, this is the perfect time to explain why you're immune to their effects. The psychoscope. Scanning different aliens with a psychoscope lets you unlock their abilities. There's a huge variety, they're very fun, and none of them matter whatsoever, because the telepath has the best one in the game. Psychoshock is a 10-second nullification of psionic abilities, which works on anything and everything in the game. And unlike the null wave transmitter, it is virtually infinite. Does this diminish the experience? No, not at all, because technopaths exist. Choosing Typhon powers over being friendly with station security is no longer a dilemma, because technopaths will hack your operators and possess your turrets. In ancient Greece,
They're annoying.
built the brazen bull for Phalaris, only to be cooked by his own torture device. I can't help but feel the same way, as I'm shredded to pieces by the same turret I repaired 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's very annoying.
Because whoever designed an enemy weak to EMP forgot to consider that flying makes them very resilient to EMP. This, like many interactions, is never explained. For example, the mimic ability. You buy the level 1, turn into a coffee cup, clap your hands, then never use it again. The description implies it's for stealth, but this is a trap written by the aliens to trick you into thinking that's all there is to it. Unexplained fact number 1. You can cast other abilities while mimicked. If someone thinks you're suspicious, obliterate their concern. Unexplained fact number 2. You don't take damage unless you're attacked. As we all know, fire has no effect on cardboard. Levels 2 and 3 let you mimic turrets and operators, but they suck, so why would you ever do that? Because of unexplained fact number 3. Your mimicked form has its own health bar. Once that's drained, it just kicks you back into human form. In other words, you do not take damage while mimicking. All of this would have been really nice to know, like 100 hours ago. The process of making a phantom isn't perfect, and sometimes they come out wrong. If you start hearing spooky music, or you're suddenly crushed against the ceiling, there's a poltergeist nearby. Where is he?
the poltergeist.
Let's find out. If you're bad at fighting something you can't see, then my condolences. There's a lot of ways to do it. You can throw around
Poltergeists are
physics
really
objects,
annoying.
cover them in glue, use the landmine
All
setting in a
of them are just
recycler,
annoying. Just in their own unique way.
or just bump into them. They're incredibly fun to fight, and there's only a couple across the whole game, so you're never expecting it.
Yeah,
Your
sometimes
progress never
phantoms
goes
don't come out all
unnoticed,
the way.
and there's no greater flattery than an alien designed specifically to kill you.
I guess.
The Nightmare forces
Oh,
you
yeah,
to
the
spend the next 3
Nightmare.
minutes of your life playing Alien Isolation. He's big.
Because
he's
the nightmare shows up at any time and you're like, the nightmare is approaching. And then it shows up and you got like 3
intimidating,
minutes
and
to
he's
deal
also
with
too
it
big
somehow.
for most corridors. My fright and suspense has become joy at the notification that I will be harvesting enough exotic material for 2 full Neuromods in the next few seconds.
Yeah, I did
There's
this.
also minor enemies here and there, like cystoids. These motion-activated mines are the bane of Adderall users, punishing both the hyperactive and inattentive. For anyone with a degree of self-restraint, they're pathetic, as they are the only enemy in the game to be countered by a foam dart. Later on, you'll also encounter hacked operators. These are initially annoying until you realize they're an infinite source of free materials.
True.
It's as if the developers didn't expect players to sit for hours spawn camping a fabricator. But I've already consumed every static object on the map. My recycler charge is crying out, and I need more fuel for the furnace. What is going on? Who's in charge here? As it turns out, you are. You are a you. Morgan you. You've got Alex you and you. Alex is the president, and you are the vice president. Normally, Neuromods are tested on political volunteers. Like this guy.
My name's Aaron.
They're obviously prisoners in here to be on test subjects. It's kind of horrifying. It's very horrifying,
Probably
actually.
got told that they'd be released afterwards.
Yeah,
Aaron.
probably.
Probably.
So it's voluntold, more or less, yeah.
However, they had the foresight to know that creating an army of superpowered convicts would be a bad idea.
Yeah.
So you've been testing them yourself. However, since neuromods are a modification of your physical brain structure, you can't just take one out and try again. You have to physically reset your brain back to when you first installed it, memories included. The simulation lab was designed to keep you in a perpetual loop of testing by having you relive the same day of your life over and over again, without having to catch you up to speed each time. This went on for many months, but now the aliens are loose. Everything's going to shit, and the vice president of the company is currently a 2-ply sheet of toilet paper. And through all this, your brother insists he can get the situation under control.
Yeah,
I wonder who I
obviously
should trust.
cannot.
My brother, who trapped me in his personal goon cave for a year, the voices in my head, or the voices that used to be in my head. I think we should hear him out. I think we should destroy the station to stop the aliens for good. I think I saw a filing cabinet over there. Add it to the pile. The first time the game plays out the same system shock. If you replace
My
Showdown
brain
with
is
a
in a
concerned
nutshell, like,
family member
what
who's
the
genuinely trying to stop you from hurting
But yeah,
yourself.
if you want a good horror game, Chrono, play this or System Shock, because they're two different types of horror, but they're more or less both sci-fi horror.
Yeah. I already have Prey, so I need to play it.
Yeah.
After your needle-induced brain damage, you try to go somewhere.
Oh,
Alex
dear
stops
God.
you find a work.
Yeah, that's from Dead Space 2. If you do the wrong thing, it's cross my heart, I hope to die, stick a needle in your eye.
It's also an old child's rhyme.
Yeah.
Pete.
It's part of a mission
The
thing
game
you have to
demonstrates a
do.
profound respect for your intelligence. Nobody calls to give you puzzle hints every 5 seconds,
Yep.
or to chastise you for your decisions. And yet, there's still this feeling I can't shake. Like I'm being tested. Watched. We're losing him. The circumcision scar. It's opening back up.
Oh my god. Oh my god!
Hey, you.
Hey, you.
Finally awake.
Finally awake.
Between the trolley problem, feeding convicts to aliens to make
Absolutely
neuromods,
not
and whether
me.
you
How
consider
dare
these people
he.
as survivors
My
or
God.
corporate liabilities, there's
Corporate
a clear theme
liabilities.
of utilitarianism throughout the story. Is it moral to feed people into a blender if the resultant smoothie would improve the lives of countless others?
What?
With that in mind, you'd expect the game to present a series of hollow, cliche choices to trick you into feeling emotional investment. Oh no, my Congolese cobalt minds are failing. Obese American cannot watch TikTok on Chinese vaporware phone, but
What
will
the
send
hell?
in more children. I will not have enough militants for my child army.
What the
do I
hell,
do?
Seth?
In the cafeteria, you'll find a telepath controlling an army of brain slaves, and
Yeah?
one guy hiding from them in a kitchen. Will Mitchell. And I don't know about you, but something seems off about this guy. Maybe it's his orcish demeanor, or the way he clearly makes up a fetch quest for you on the spot, or the way he looks in his transcribe icon, or
Yeah,
the way he
this is
doesn't
not him.
recognize you, despite having a picture of you in his room, and you being on first-name basis with half of a ship, or the explosive stockpile behind him, or how you can hear him break something just to give you another fetch quest to do, or the fact that he's immune to mind control, and the only other documented case of this is a test subject who stockpiled explosives and escaped, or the fact that Will Mitchell reads as dead on the tracking bracelet system, or the color of his suit being red, despite suits being color-coded with red meaning executive, or the way his suit
he
is
stole
near
all this.
identical to Alex's, or the way Will Mitchell's tracking bracelet is inside the freezer, or the way he suspiciously urges you to go into the freezer, or the way he locks you inside, or maybe it's the human meat and butchered remains of Will Mitchell in the freezer. But I don't know. Maybe it's just prejudice. Thank you, Will Mitchell, for giving me this opportunity to grow as a man. I'll put your best features to good use. In a lesser game, you would either be railroaded into getting trapped or be given a choice in a system that normally doesn't. You'd be so conditioned by essential NPCs that the only way you'd even consider an alternative is if a quest told you you had options to begin with. When Alex locks down the ship, you eject yourself into space and float over to the cargo bay. Unfortunately, there's a hull breach. Until you dock a storage container, the doors won't open. You're supposed to read the serial number, enter it on the computer, and watch
Which
it
I
go.
did.
However, Dr. Deo Igwe is trapped inside a container. There is
Oh,
no
yeah,
dilemma.
I helped
You
him
need
with
to dock
this.
a container to proceed, and docking Igwe's will save him. It's not a question of who you save, him or you, Fat Man or Railroad Tracks. It's a question of whether you possess the basic human empathy to expand an iota of conscious effort to
He's
save
doing
someone.
this to kill
Frankly,
him.
I'm offended. How far games have fallen that you don't even have the confidence in me to do the smallest possible act of altruism. I should... Oh, hey, what's in here?
That's his...
Wait, what are you doing?
He's decompressing.
Stop, damn you, stop!
There's a group of survivors holed inside. They've locked a bunch of aliens in a room you need to go through, and won't open it unless you bring them enough turrets. Based on your build, you have a few different ways to achieve this. Remember to steal everything that isn't bolted down. They won't need it.
Is TranStar mounting a rescue operation?
No.
So far, we've been talking about basic high school level utilitarian ethics,
Knocked
but
her
obviously, that's not the whole story. If a pregnant woman boards a crowded train, you can't just say, I expended 1,500 calories of effort today chasing women around the park.
What?
You deserve to remain seated. You'd look like an asshole. Morality isn't necessarily a universal truth, nor a contract between you and those you affect, but rather between you and society, between you and how you're perceived. If we view it from that lens, the reason you give your seat to the pregnant woman is to be perceived as a moral individual by the other passengers on the train.
Yeah.
However, this isn't a train, it's a trolley, and I've already pulled the lever.
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
Unhinged. I like it.
Main quest dilemmas aside,
my
there's a few
God.
side objectives that require going out of your way to help someone else. For example,
Yeah.
your old girlfriend is dying of paraplexis, which is a completely made-up condition, and she actually just swallowed a peanut. She told me to leave her behind, to focus on saving everyone else, and I
medicine.
followed her orders. As Einstein
Oh my
famously
God,
said, when a
Seth.
black queen speaks, I listen. Then I came back and found out there's no timer because she's completely fine. So I ventured out into the cold void of space, retrieved her EpiPen, and brought it back. Within a narrow time window of whenever I felt like it. The aliens may have killed half a station, but the real winner of today is humanity.
I can breathe again.
But yeah, she needed it.
Feel my legs. I still have some spots in the eye.
Oh my god!
No empathy, dude. Money.
He bullies me with his bulbous form and childbearing hips. My pattern-seeking brain is screaming for him to be the villain. He even does the whole "I'm not a bad guy" shtick. However,
Yeah, he
he's
really
not
does a lot of that. From what I remember, he's just like, I'll get it under control soon. You gotta believe me, Morgan. I'm like, no, everything's dying.
He is on your side. It's just that your brain's
You
been
gotta
so
believe
thoroughly
me, Morgan.
scrambled that nobody knows who you are anymore. You had your memory wiped over and over and over again, and every time you did, you came out slightly different.
Oh.
I feel great. I should kill myself. Why do I have an AO free account? And why do all my bookmarks lead to the same slash fiction where Dumbledore impregnates Dobby? This raises an interesting
What the
question.
fuck?
You may have started to think the same.
Why
Brain is
did
not a static
not
organ. We're
need
shaped
to
by our
know
experience,
this?
and after a memory, your life is always different.
Oh, I
Leading
have
you to
a
develop
mental
subtly different
image.
personalities
I
over
know.
time. So,
No.
are these the same person, or are they different people? If you make a decision and then erase all the memories.
It's not my. You'll be fine.
That's
Like, look, I've
okay.
been traumatized.
Oh my god.
Hey, the
Ah,
Dobby Dumbledore fan fiction won't
no
hurt
funny
you.
banana.
It's not real.
Leading up to that
Oh,
decision,
God.
was it still you that made it? Can you be held responsible for it? Be sure to
That
let
is
me
a
know
good
as
question.
we're crafting a new DUI defense. If I don't remember it, neither should the judge. Ultimately, this useless hypothetical is up to you, as is the larger question of what you're going to do about this whole mess.
Oh,
Do
he
you
crashed the
work with
game.
Alex to study the aliens and develop a way to neutralize them? Or do you trigger the station's self-destruct to stop any possibility of them reaching Earth? Personally, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
We're getting the fuck out of here.
Just get me the fuck out of here.
This isn't the one.
If you got that ending, you may have spoiled yourself on the big twist. You aren't Morgan. Morgan's dead, as is the rest of the world. You are an alien that's been neuromodded to feel empathy, but they have no idea if that even works. So the entire game has been a simulation of Morgan's memories, designed to see how you'd behave in their shoes. Now, I know this sounds like a cliche, but trust me, it isn't. It was all just a dream. Sucks because it strips a story of any meaning. You
Yeah.
are all but told, alright, show's over, now stop thinking about it. And you do. For a twist like this to be good, it needs to add more meaning than it removed by revealing that everything was fake. And it does.
Yeah.
You're not being evaluated for how good of a person you are. You're being evaluated to see if you are a person. If the implanted mirror neurons have bestowed even a shred of humanity upon you. Did you help people because it was the right thing to do? Or because it would help your own survival? It's a much better lens for analyzing player
Yeah,
actions than the
that
standard.
is a good point, honestly. Did this help you
Yeah.
because it... Did you do this because it helps you in the long run? Or did you do it because you thought it would help or did you help it because you wanted
Good
to
boy
help people?
points. Recycling every single person you see might not be good, but nobody knows what these things are capable of. For all we know, summary execution could very well be the appropriate containment method. So
What?
we're not interested in what you did, so much as why you did it, which can be gleaned from
Makes
the
sense.
aggregate of your decisions. If you only help people because they'd be worth more alive than dead, then you wouldn't have bothered to do their personal missions. So
Yeah.
naturally, the best thing to do is to take every moral action, prove at every junction that you know what it means to be human, and then kill everyone anyway. Thank you for this new, indomitable human spirit. I'll put it to good use. In my headcanon, which is objectively true, the experiment succeeds. Hear me out. The Typhon mimic is effectively Ditto from Pokemon. And
Yeah.
with implanted mirror neurons, they have a potential to become our greatest companion. I see a bright future where a fully empathetic Typhon lifeform could pattern, copy, and transform into Fuda Elizabeth from Bioshock
what?
Infinite. And that is a future worth fighting for. Prey is a great game that runs into issues
Oh
typical
my
of genre.
God.
Puzzle solving with the resources available to you is fun, until I open the Pandora's box of infinite abilities. You don't need to be creative when you have the optimal solution to every problem. Why do I bring this up? Because the DLC fixes everything. Mooncrash is a semi-roguelike where you play as different characters
yeah.
in their attempts to escape the Pythias moonbase during a containment breach. However, none of them survived. You are actually a hacker, simulating their memories to steal corporate secrets. Why is it called Mooncrash? Because the title spoils the ending. You crash on the moon. Just awful titles all around. With each run, your goal is the same. Get the hell out. Once you do, it's time for the next character to escape. Except, the world is persistent across runs. The first time I played this, I didn't know that. Looted every single piece of equipment, and died on the second run from lack of resources. After each character has a run, the simulation resets, and you do it again. Each reset randomizes map features such as loot,
Interesting.
escape methods, and the location of
I kinda
key
wanna try
items.
this
The
now.
longer you spend inside the
Dark Solar.
simulation, the higher the corruption level, which increases the amount and difficulty of threats you'll encounter. Because of this, you need to strategize the order of escape. The engineer can repair the station in preparation for the rest, while the security guard can mop up extra enemies later in the loop. Completing objectives
Nice.
will reward you with points. These can be spent on equipment for later runs, according to the fabrication blueprints you unlocked in previous runs. Every character has their own upgrade tree, forcing you to tackle problems with a limited set of
Differently.
abilities. If you can ignore the fact that moonsharks are 100 decibels louder than anything else in the game, and designed purely to blow out your eardrums,
Dear God.
Oh
I think you'll
god.
enjoy the extra content. In summary, Prey is probably the best game Arcane ever made. I can't recommend it enough, because games like this are rare and unprofitable, versus the mountain of
Yeah.
slop that executives produce for greater margins. An industry always caters to its
Sorry.
consumer. It's just in this case I find myself increasingly agreeing with Talmudic rabbinical teachings. The consumer truly is domesticated cattle. If you're interested, enter code ObeseAlexU to get 90%
What?
off on GOG for the next week. It's about $3.
Obese
It's
Alex.
DRM free. It's literally cheaper than
Did he
piracy.
choose
As
the-
always,
He got-
more
he had
content
to
to
have
come, so
chosen the
stay
code.
tuned. A warm thanks to the
Yeah,
many
just-
members of the Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all
What the
truly
hell?
wonderful. Have a good one.
Members of the merchant.
I promised
That's
you my
his.
onion cake.
That's his
All I ask is
Patreon.
Oh,
you
dear
hear me
God.
out first.
Dear God.
And you can blow Talos one to pieces if
That's
that's what
what
you think is
community
best.
name.
I don't think you'll do it. I know,
Killer ass out of your
because I
day.
used to think we
Okay.
couldn't be trusted to play with fire without burning the house down. But you convinced me. You showed me anything was possible, even if the price was steep. That part of you.
Oh, he's gonna kill him. He put him in the cycle.
Okay, that was pretty funny. There at the end.
Okay.
She's like, nah, fuck your words.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna recycle you.
Thank you all
I'm
so.
so traumatized from the Dumbledore X
I
Dobby
know.
melt.
Oh
Don't
my
focus
god.
on it. Anyway, thank you all so much for
I
stopping by.
have the whole mental scene played out in my head.
If you like what we're doing here, I'm ignoring what she's saying, yes. Thank you all so much for coming by. And we'll see you all later. Have a great day, guys. And take care of yourselves. Either way.
Where's ChatGPT so I can put this on the thing and traumatize you with what it's going